We've got the National Dialogue, that convention also happening at UNISA in Pretoria. Let's leave it there. From myself, Liesl Wilson, and the rest of the crew. Until next time, take care. Just a moment, Natasha Piri will be in conversation with Professor Lesiba Teffo. We'll be right back after this.
Well, thank you so much, Lisa. We're now joined by Professor Lesiba Teffo. Of course, just picking up from the conversations that we had, yesterday, he had said that, listen, there's absolutely no need for this national dialogue. But I mean, national dialogues are not a new concept. It may be a new concept for South Africa, but it's been used across other, African countries as an instrument to resolve political crisis and pave way for political transitions and sustainable peace. Prof, thank you so much for joining us on SABC News. I mean, just in the context of national dialogues, across the African continent, I've just read out how it resolves political crisis in other countries. For this country, because we've got our own unique challenges, what could it do? Would it reset or put the reset button on?
Yes. Look, let it be clear, lest I am misunderstood. There's nothing wrong with a dialogue or dialoguing, if I may use that. But in this instance, the people of South Africa, including myself, or some of them, are saying, to which end? They must tell us the ultimate purpose why you dialogue. But if you're going to dialogue about the people that already know, the issues that people know, and the people say you are failing to implement, then there is reason, and good reason for them to be cynical and skeptical, and even ask maybe the muted question, is there a second agenda in this instance? That said, dialogues on the African continent, they didn't yield much. You have Sudan and South Sudan. You have the DRC in perpetual conflict. Every year or every other year, there's a peace agreement. They come to naught. But let's keep trying. Better jaw than war.
And Prof, as we're here at the National Convention in Pretoria, in Marikana in the Northwest, it's the 13th year anniversary of the Marikana Massacre, where 34 miners were killed. Should this anniversary shape our conversations into the national dialogue? And, what does Marikana also tell, our country or society about the unresolved injustices in democracy? How might this dialogue actually address them?
Yeah, you see now, for how long? And indeed, for how long have people been talking about social justice for the victims of Marikana, eternal peace to the fallen souls? But is this type of intractable conversations that yield nothing, that lead people to concluding, is it still worthwhile? And that is my question even today. We are commemorating the 13th year, and the widows and the widowers of Marikana are still looking for social justice. The community around and about, they were promised things that were not done. But we, the high-heeled, the learned, the educated, in the boardrooms, we keep talking about them. But they see nothing coming out of it. My heart goes out to those people out there.
And Prof, they're not only seeking social justice, they're also looking for economic justice. They were fighting for better pay. People here at the dialogue have raised issues around, the economy. Do you think that the gap persisted, despite decades of policy promises? What kind of social compact clauses could realistically tackle this divide of economic justice?
Look, I would hope that given what we are going through now and the concerns that people are raising now, that talk no results. Maybe the people of Marikana might ultimately get socio-economic justice. They can see their material conditions being improved. And I also want to say, there is one good that I think is going to come out of this, or maybe many goods, in quotes, that will come out of this dialogue. The one big one that I think is going to come out is the one that says, people said, we have been talking and you don't implement. If they don't take that message, that is a principal message. People say, it's enough about talks. Please just implement. Have the courage of your conviction, the political will, and implement. If not, Cesar Divana, in 2026, election time, 2029 election time.
And of course, talking about elections, we'll continue this conversation a bit later on. Of course, Liesel continues with the agenda, and also we're now joined by Yanda Nyati, who's in our makeshift studio here at UNISA, where I'm also situated. And of course, as SABC News, we will be bringing you all the latest and blow-by-blow coverage of the second and final day of the First National Convention.